Hello, and welcome to the Global Client Suitability Training. The goal of today's training is to lay the groundwork for understanding the difference between suitability and appropriateness and what that looks like within FXCM's day-to-day operations. So what exactly is suitability and appropriateness, and what's the big deal about it? Is there even a difference between the two? We'll start off by defining these terms, then we'll review the regulation they stem from. Next, we'll take a look at how regulation is applied in our processes and procedures. Then lastly, we'll take a look at a few case studies and discuss what we've learned. Are you ready? If I were to ask you if suitability and appropriateness were the same or different, what would be your answer? If your answer is they are different, you would be correct. So what is the difference? Suitability requires us to obtain information from clients necessary to assess their investment objectives, financial situation, and their knowledge and experience of the risks and products associated with Forex trading. Assessing appropriateness requires us to obtain necessary information from clients regarding their knowledge of a specific product or service we offer and their experience using it. When assessing client suitability, it is important to determine whether or not he is situated to be able to sustain the potential risk Forex trading brings. When a client may be suitable to trade with FXCM, it isn't guaranteed that every product or service we offer is appropriate for him to use. When assessing appropriateness, you want to ensure any recommendations made to the client, whether it be the platform they use, the strategy they run, or the amount they are encouraged to deposit, are at their level of experience and in line with their trading goals. Assessing client appropriateness is an ongoing focus of our global regulators, so it is imperative to know and understand our responsibility in the matter. As a global company, FXCM is required to adhere to multiple sets of regulatory requirements. FXCM LLC must adhere to the regulatory requirements set forth by the NFA and the CFTC. NFA Rules 2-4 and 2-36 require that FXCM adhere to just and equitable principles of trade, and NFA Rule 2-30 addresses making reasonable efforts to obtain customer information. NFA Rule 2-30 is the basis for FXCM's Know Your Customer or KYC policy and is intended to define high standards of commercial honor and just and equitable trade as applied to our procedures for exchanging information with new customers during the onboarding process. KYC requires FXCM to obtain extensive information about each customer's trading and investment experience, income, net worth, and age before opening an account. We are also required to provide risk disclosures and, when applicable, any additional necessary disclosures. NFA Rule 2-36 requires us to obtain necessary information from all customers and provide them with disclosures that discuss the risks of Forex trading. Due diligence must be exercised to obtain the information necessary to make a determination of a client's financial situation, and risk disclosures must be provided at or before the time the client opens their account. This rule also requires FXCM to verify client information annually for material accuracy if we are acting as a counterparty to the client's efforts. The CFTC's regulatory requirements include sections 5.2, 5.5, and 5.16, which pertain to conduct and ensuring that appropriate disclosures are sent to customers. More specifically, CFTC section 5.2 strictly prohibits deceptive conduct. This includes any fraudulent attempt to cheat, defraud, or willfully deceive any person by any means, or providing statements that are not entirely true. CFTC Section 5.5 requires that we provide retail Forex customers with a risk disclosure statement. This disclosure statement addresses the risks, conflicts of interest, and unique characteristics of retail Forex trading and must be provided before clients open their trading account. CFTC Section 5.16 prohibits any guarantee against loss, including any attempt to limit the loss of a client or not calling for an attempt to collect margin or other deposits. It is important to note that violation of any of the CFTC regulations is also seen as a violation of the NFA requirement. FXCM Ltd must adhere to the regulatory requirements set forth by the FCA. COBS 10 specifically governs firms, such as FXCM, who offer financial products or services without making personal recommendations or managing investments. More specifically, COBS sections 10.1, 10.2, 10.3, and 10.5 all pertain to our obligation to assess the appropriateness of a product or service in relation to the attributes of the client using it. When assessing appropriateness, we are obligated to ask clients to provide information regarding their knowledge and experience with certain products and services. This information can be taken as fact unless we have reason to believe it is inaccurate. Due diligence must be exercised to obtain any client information necessary to make a determination of their financial situation, and risk disclosure must be provided at or before onboarding. Discouraging clients from providing information for the purpose of determining appropriateness is strictly prohibited. Clients with certain attributes and/or levels of experience may be seen as having sufficient knowledge to understand the risks associated with the product or service. If this is not the case, we may seek to increase the client's level of understanding by providing available education and resources. If, based on the information provided, the service being offered is not appropriate, it is our obligation to inform the client accordingly. Communication with clients should be natural yet informative. At no point should clients be forced to try a product or service in which they haven't expressed interest. FXCM-AU must adhere to the regulatory requirements set forth by ASIC, more specifically Regulations 227.40, 227.42, and the B portion of 227.43. Per ASIC Regulation 227.40, FXCM is required to assess potential clients against qualifying criteria that addresses their level of understanding and experience with a certain product. Examples of this criteria include previous investing experience with financial products, including securities and derivatives, understanding of leverage, margin, and volatility, understanding of the nature of CFD trading, including that CFDs do not provide investors with interests or rights in the underlying asset over which a position is taken, understanding of the processes and technologies used in trading, and preparedness to monitor and manage the associated risks. ASIC Regulation 227.42 requires that clients have access to a demo trading account. This allows clients to practice executing trades on a mock platform before engaging in high-risk trading on our actual platform. And lastly, ASIC Regulation 227.43, in part, simply requires that our client qualification policy be explained in the product disclosure statement which is provided to clients. Not only should the policy be outlined, but FXCM's application of the policy should be outlined as well. So our clients, where do they come from? There are several ways someone may hear about FXCM. They may see a banner ad while checking their email or a commercial while watching YouTube and decide to reach out to our company to learn more. The primary source of potential client interest is through the opening of demo accounts. This allows clients access to try our tools and provides a great starting point for follow-up and information gathering. We also use various marketing strategies to capture potential client attention, including email campaigns, online and print advertisements, and social media. In addition to our in-house marketing team, we also have an outside marketing team made up of happy clients who refer people they know. This is an indicator that we are doing a good job meeting customer expectations. FXCM occasionally holds information seminars, sometimes online and sometimes in person, as a way to generate interest in our product offerings and services. There are also instances in which individuals may reach out and initiate a phone call, email, or online chat. However, per company policy, we should never cold call clients. Members of client-facing teams are expected to be familiar with FXCM's existing guidelines to ensure communication with our potential and existing clients is ethical in nature and within company and regulatory requirements. When communicating with clients, educate them on new opportunities in an effort to help them make informed decisions regarding their plans for trading. In addition to information about trading opportunities, clients should also be provided with the appropriate risk disclosures to ensure they understand and are financially able to manage the risks associated with Forex trading. Talk to clients about their trading and investment history and assess their previous experience with financial products, including securities, derivatives, Forex, and CFDs, to ensure they are suitable to open an account with us and that our products are appropriate for them. Lastly, Convey the benefits of trading with FXCM in an honest, straightforward manner. It is this appreciation and understanding of the risks involved by us and the client that are required in order to make a determination of client appropriateness. This determination must be made each time the customer makes a decision to participate in an offer or trade. Now, of course, with every list of things you should do follows a list of things you shouldn't. When communicating with clients, whether potential or existing, never use high-pressure sales tactics. If a client isn't suitable or appears uncomfortable with what you're selling, they should not be pressured or bullied. In these same instances, if there are no reasonable grounds for believing a product is suitable, product recommendations should not be provided. Sometimes the best recommendation we can make is they are not currently suitable to trade Forex. Per regulatory requirements, the potential for profit and loss, if discussed, must be done so in equal proportion. Communication may not be one-sided in either direction. It is very important for clients to understand that trading Forex is a high-risk investment, and while they have the opportunity to make a large profit, there is an equal opportunity to lose everything they've invested. If at any point in your communication the client states they are uninterested in opening an account or receiving any further communication, or if we are unable to contact a potential customer, their lead should be marked as dead and no further effort should be made to contact them. Finally, personal trading advice and recommendations should not be provided. The decision to do business with FXCM rests solely on the client and should not be coerced. So what happens when clients decide to proceed with opening an account? Each client must fully complete the onboarding application and verification process for their applicable entity before trading can begin. While FXCM LLC, LTD, and AU are governed by different regulating bodies, there are controls built into each entity's application to assess client suitability and appropriateness. Therefore, it is important that the information provided on a client's application be reviewed carefully. If any information on the application conflicts with details provided during correspondence with the client, that information should be escalated to compliance immediately. Clients are required to complete the application in its entirety as the questions asked are designed to assess their investment objectives, financial situation, and trading knowledge and experience. Every client that completes an FXCM application is required to provide their name, address, date of birth, employment information, including status and nature of business, their estimated annual income, net worth, and liquid assets, and their previous investment and trading experience. Clients must also agree to a set of risk disclosures. In particular, clients who complete the application for FXCM Australia are required to answer 4 client qualification questions designed to ensure they are aware of the risks associated with OTC margin FX and CFDs, and require them to consider whether they have sufficient knowledge of the market to trade these products. If a client answers no to any one of these 4 questions, their application will be rejected and they will not be allowed to open a trading account. Based on the information provided by clients on their application, they may or may not be considered high risk. A client is considered high risk if he falls into any one of the following categories: between 18 and 21 years of age or 65 years of age or older, currently retired or unemployed, any of his financials are under 25K, has no previous trading experience, has previously filed for bankruptcy, or is applying for an IRA account. Clients who meet any of this criteria when completing an application will trigger the high-risk investment notice. This notice will appear as a pop-up during the onboarding process and will require clients to acknowledge and agree to the possible risks associated with Forex trading before the application can be submitted for review. Furthermore, there are instances in which certain clients are proactively contacted in an effort to verify some of their information via telephone. Clients who are 75 years of age or older, regardless of whether they are a retail or IB client, and have no trading experience must be verified through what is called a client suitability call. This call is completed by our FSR team and must be done before the client's account can be unlocked for trading. During this call, the FSR rep will engage in a conversation with the client in which he must review the high-risk investment notice, define risk capital, and obtain affirmation that the funds being allocated to the trading account are, in fact, risk capital or money the client can potentially lose. The FSR rep must also confirm the client understands the important information regarding his account is communicated via email and offer a walkthrough of both the trading platform and MyFXCM. If, after completing this call, the FSR rep has reason to believe the client may not be suitable to trade Forex, he should escalate the case to compliance via the ticket system for further review. There are certain criteria built into the onboarding process that could potentially cause a client's application to be rejected. These include the client is younger than 18 years of age, resides in an OFAC country or a country from which FXCM does not accept clients, is a positive Bridger or EDD ban list match, is currently going through bankruptcy, is opening an account in the name of a faith-based, educational, or nonprofit organization, or has an employment status of unemployed with a source of income as government support. Now that we've had a chance to review suitability and appropriateness, let's take a look at a few case studies. An active client, Jane Smith, received the high-risk investment notice for indicating a net worth of under 25K on her account application. She contacted FXCM to inquire about available options that would lower her trading costs and to see what additional resources we had available that would benefit her. During the call, Ms. Smith disclosed she was working part-time with an annual income of 30K. After being solicited to deposit additional funds, she decided she make another deposit in the amount of 15K, bringing her total deposit amount to 30K. Potential client John Doe calls FXCM in an effort to get some real-time assistance while filling out the online application. He is unsure about how to answer the employment information. Mr. Doe is currently unemployed. However, he recently interviewed for a full-time position and is expecting a job offer within the next week. Given his unique situation, he is asking about what he should do. Tony Stark, a current client of FXCM, calls in regarding his two accounts. He states he is comfortable with the risk and would like to open a third account to try out a new trading strategy. Mr. Stark's personal information shows he is employed, has a net worth of 100K, 25K in liquid assets, and 4 years of trading experience. His first account has a balance of 11K and his second account a balance of 5K. He is looking to open his third account with 10K, which Mr. Stark mentions will be coming from a different bank account. As you can see, it is important to know and understand the meaning of client suitability and appropriateness and how our clients are assessed during various stages of the account process. Forex trading is not suitable for everyone who applies to open an account with us. In the event we receive an application for a potential client who is deemed unsuitable to trade, FXCM's products and services should not be recommended. As a customer service representative, it is your responsibility to obtain as much information as possible during the pre-screening process in an effort to determine appropriateness. Proper disclosures must be provided to the customer regardless of account type or balance, and discussion surrounding potential gains and losses must be balanced. We are here to educate our customers and equip them to make well-informed decisions, not only during the account opening process, but throughout the entire life of their account. It is our job to understand a client's financial circumstances, not only before and during the account onboarding process, but in all future contact with the client as well. Financial situations change, and sometimes very fast. It is imperative to ensure we are engaging clients in effective conversation that will help collect this information. Clients are not required to disclose it to us, so we must make sure we are exercising due diligence. This is especially important when upselling or recommending a change in services. Conversations with clients, including any new material provided, should always be documented, as it is the appreciation and understanding of the risks involved that are required to make a determination of appropriateness and suitability. No recommendation should be made without reasonable grounds for believing it is suitable for a customer based on their current investment objectives, financial situation, and needs, or any other information of which you may be aware. This determination must be made each time the customer makes a decision to participate in an offer or trade. That means re-verifying information to determine if there have been any material changes. FXCM is required to take a proactive approach in all interactions with clients. Each representative has the ongoing obligation to act as a sales supervisor from the standpoint of making sure clients' financial circumstances are in line with the investment activity or product being discussed. Sales reps allowed to solicit accounts, product changes, and the like are held to a higher standard of accountability and are also personally liable. Therefore, failure to adhere to regulatory and firm policies can result in disciplinary action up to and including termination. I would encourage you to assess your daily routine to make sure you are properly assessing suitability and appropriateness for each client you come in contact with. If you have any questions about any of the material covered in today's presentation, feel free to reach out to your local team leader or email compliance at compliancetraining@fxcm.com.